right, you stupid little slimy ones.
I've got a pocket full of sunshine.
we were just doing a bit right before we recorded this, where I was singing that song in a bunch of different stupid ways. Yeah, it's a great way to start a podcast with inside jokes that no one's going to understand. It's the one, maybe two podcasts of every year where we're like, oh my god, it's way too warm.
Yeah.
I'm making no apologies about the fact that I've got both windows in this room wide open, so it's actually very likely that you're going to hear some cars, maybe loud motorbikes and all sorts of shit go past. I don't give a fuck for this podcast. It's too warm. It's like 26 degrees in sensible measurements. What's that in American measurements?
Don't ask me. I don't speak American.
Degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's like 80. Which doesn't sound like a lot compared to what some Americans are used to, but okay, don't judge us, okay? It's England. We're used to it being like 2 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, we're used to it being grey and overcast and awful, and fucking your mum's dying of the plague. So.
Yeah. Margaret Thatcher shutting down the mines again somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how she's doing it. She opened them again just to be like, fuck you. She came back
from the dead, reopened all the mines, and then fucking shut them again.
Yeah, and everyone in the north was like, oh, come on, we love the mines. Well, basically
like,
dwarves
fuck
up
you.
Here. That's her voice. She sounds just like that.
Yeah, just like that.
Oh, God. Well, speaking of olden days, Judd, we've got a segment a little bit later all about the olden days with some special fancy shit. I actually was supposed to test out you being able to hear audio, but I forgot to do that. I think I got this.
Nice.
We're going to talk about some a barbecue that I'm doing at the weekend for a little bit, and also our main topic of this video, unless Judd's got anything interesting as well, just some games. Talk about games. When was the last time we did that? You ever played a game, Judd? Do you know what games are?
I think a long time ago. I think I might have played one.
Many moons ago.
Yeah.
I once played a game.
I think I might have seen a guy playing a game once. There was a guy doing something at like
I've seen a guy before. I've seen a guy.
Yeah.
I know what they look
I've seen
like.
guys before. He was doing something in that bush, so.
Oh dear. I've just shared my screen with you for something later. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Well, what have you been playing lately? Because I know you play a lot of League of Legends with your friends nowadays, or like you have been. But I don't know. I don't know what you even play now. When's the last time we even talked about games?
You know what I've been playing a lot of recently. Me and Sam and sometimes Tom have been playing Sea of Thieves recently.
Again, invite me. I'll play Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, we can do. It's weird how fun that game is, to say it's just fucking...
There's just not much to it at all, is there?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit like... This is what opened up my whole creativity part of my personality. When I was young, probably about 5, I went to McDonald's one of the rare times that my family had actually taken me to McDonald's when I was that young. And I got a toy from a Happy Meal. And I said to my mum, "This toy ain't very good. It doesn't do anything. Like it don't shoot something or play some music, or it don't do anything. It's just like a little character." And she was like, "Oh, it's an imagination toy. You're supposed to imagine what it's doing and something like that." And I think that's what Sea of Thieves is. It's an imagination game. There's not much to it. You don't really do anything. There's not really an objective. You just have to kind of use your creativity and imagination for your fun.
See, that's kind of what me and Sam do, because we just take the piss on it. We were playing the fucking... Oh my god. We were playing the... There's a Pirates of the Caribbean, event thing that's happening on it. And there's a story mode thing that you can play for that. And it is the most fucking boring thing I've ever done in my life. It's like... you don't even really do anything. You kind of just... walk from one room to the other, listening to a guy talk. It's like going on a Pirates of the Caribbean sort of thing at Disney World. You know, where you just walk around and the animatronics will say something. But as we're playing through this thing, one of the voiceovers, one of like the voice clips in this fucking room goes, "Dead men tell no tales," but it broke. So it kept doing it, but like at like random intervals. So we'd be like 5 minutes past it in a different room, and somebody else would be talking, and they'd be halfway through whatever they were saying. It'd just cut out and go, "Dead men."
A bit like in Heavy Rain, that famous glitch. What was
Yeah,
he saying?
yeah.
Who was he called?
Sean!
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah,
just keep
going,
pressing the button and
"Sean!"
hitting through all the cutscenes, just going,
Yeah.
Sean,
Sean! Yeah,
God, video games are funny when they glitch like that.
yeah, when they don't work.
Yeah. Speaking of games not working though, some games that aren't as fun when they're glitchy, and they're glitchy all the time, is old school games, like proper old, like Atari, like maybe early NES, maybe. How many old sort of games have you played?
My old games that I played were like on the PlayStation 1.
I'm talking older, like before our time. I'm talking like 80s, early 80s, maybe even late 70s.
I don't really play them.
You've not played any?
I can't. I mean, I've played like your classics. Like I played a bit of Sonic, and I've played a bit of like some of the older Marios, but I never really played many of them. My old games that I played were PlayStation 1 era games.
Well, probably more PlayStation 2, really, because PlayStation.
No.
1,
I had a PlayStation 1. I had a PlayStation 1 at my nan's house. So I played like all the Resident Evils, Silent Hill, Gex.
Gex.
What else did I play on there? There was a fucking Action Man game on the PlayStation 1 that was fucking awesome. I played that a lot.
PlayStation 1 was weird because it was like in a weird middle ground of still having some really high quality 2D games, but like breaking into some kind of shitty 3D games.
Yeah.
I remember playing on PS1. My mum wouldn't get me a video game console when I was that young because it came out in 1994. And when did the PS2 come out?
It was, I think, 2003.
Just the year 2000. So PlayStation 2 was out when I was younger, but my mum didn't really want to get me a console, but when she did, it was a PS2. That was the first one I ever got. So I didn't play much PS1, but my friend Max, who was a year older than me, had a PlayStation 1. Because back in those days, if you had a PlayStation 1, it was like, well, I've got this, why do I need a number 2? You know?
Yeah.
You didn't have to have the latest console for anything. So I remember going to his house and playing this. What I now realise was a Super Smash Brothers rip-off, but it was all Digimon. You remember Digimon?
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, I think that might have been, like, what awakened me to liking video games so much. Because I was like, oh my god, I'm having so much fun right now. I was playing, 2-player on that with... I was fucking losing all the time. I don't know what I was doing. But I just liked it. It was fun.
I remember our dad getting me the PlayStation 2. And I remember playing fucking Soul Calibur 2 for the first time. The first games that we got on it were
Sly
Soul
Cooper
Calibur 2.
Must have been one of the first ones. It
was Ratchet and Clank, but we knew about Sly Cooper because back in the day, Insomniac used to put like playable demos on their games for other games. So on Ratchet and Clank, the Sly Cooper demo was on it. So that's how we found out about Sly Cooper.
I feel like I had a PlayStation 2 before we had one at our dad's and before you had one. Do you think that was right? I certainly had a Game Boy before I had a PlayStation.
I deleted,
there was the infamous story of where Judd wiped my save game on Pokemon Ruby.
Fumbled. I fumbled. Listen, I thought new game meant it'd make a new save, not delete Jake's one. I fumbled.
Well, you also was like 4, so
yeah. I was also Yeah.
It was,
I shouldn't have been given
it was because our dad said you could, and so far as he knew with video games, it was like Atari and NES, where it's like, start a new game. It's just you play it for a bit. You don't save your progress. It's like you go pew pew pew. This is the amount of score I got. Cool.
Also, Dad's like fucking games like video games like Atari and Pong and shit. Like you just said, who gives a shit? Not it's not like you forge lifelong bonds with these little characters or anything that you go on a team. Go on a big team up with.
Whereas realistically now, I would happily have like a Mudkip plushie just because of that game. Just to remind me of the Mudkip that you slaughtered. Like, it's like the only way to actually kill your Pokemon. Like, they can't die in the game, but when your brother comes along and starts a new game, that's like they're actually dead. You can never get them back.
I love the idea of like a much younger version of me and you, and I'm sort of like in this room with like these Pokemon around me. And this door like sort of swings closed, and the door's open, and I'm in there with the Pokemon fine, but the door like swings closed and then immediately swings back open, and just inside all the Pokemon are dead, and I'm like just still sat
just like a small child.
Yeah.
Oh god, that must have been crazy from Dad's perspective though, because so far as he knew, it was like, he'll not mind, just play his game, it don't matter.
Yeah.
And then then later on I go on my game and just start crying. Just like going, no! And he's like, what's the matter?
He's like, whoa, what is going on here?
He doesn't have a fucking clue.
What's happening, kid? What's going on? My fucking Pokemon are dead! He killed them all! Fucking, what are you talking about?
He's like, oh god, I didn't know. Like, what? Is it really that serious? What the fuck?
Oh god, I didn't know.
But video games from his era, I've been playing a lot of, right? Because I've started a new series on our YouTube channel, which you won't know of because I don't have to tell you this shit, you don't care enough. But it's because the reason why I've done that is these podcasts go up on our YouTube channel, and they also go up on Spotify and other good streaming platforms. And you can follow news and all this shit at Tweets Badly. But the way to we also record them live, twitch.tv/streamsbadly, and the only way you can kind of direct traffic towards Twitch is by growing an audience somewhere else and then directing them there, because Twitch has no discovery. So you can't just stream every day and then hopefully expect to grow a little audience. It just doesn't even work. So you have to send an audience there from somewhere else. So I've been posting YouTube videos for us, just as much as I can cope with. If ever I'm like, oh god, I've not posted a video in like 3 weeks, I'm just like, cool then, fine. It's just kind of more casual, but in a bid to kind of, because I enjoy doing it, get out some more videos, I've been doing this series as well and making videos on it. So I've been playing the best-selling game from each year since video games started, basically.
I did know you were doing this, by the way. You did tell me.
Oh, I can't remember. I might have talked about it for a long time on the last podcast, but you're getting a double feature then. We started, I did play Pong, but like, we started at the start of Atari, which is 1977, and started with Space Invaders. Decent game. You kind of just play it, and it's not that hard, and sweet. It's just a bit of fun. It's a bit like playing fucking Flappy Bird on your phone when that was out. Then I played Breakout, and that's like harder than you remember. The whole thing is break all the blocks, but... And I think if you break more than one in a row, you'll get like a higher score, but it's not really that predictable. So it's basically just break all the blocks, and it's kind of hard, but not really. Yeah, that's similar to Space Invaders. Then we played... Have you ever played... You'll know of the game Adventure.
Yes, I have played it.
You've played that game?
I have played Adventure, yeah.
Oh, and what did you think to that?
I just kind of thought to myself, look, times have changed, and
thank fuck they have.
Yeah. Because what even is that? What even
so
is it?
Fucking janky. Granted, I'm playing it on an emulator. Maybe it wasn't that janky on the actual Atari, but I doubt it. And there's no rules. There's no rules to that fucking game. There's this bat. The general gist of it is you have to collect keys to open castles to find this what it's called a grail, it's a trophy, and bring it back to the starting castle. But and there's 3 different adventures that you can complete, and there's this bat that randomly flies all over the stages and just picks up shit and just moves it somewhere completely different, and you'll never know where it's gone.
Am I remembering it correctly that the bat also does like some sort of ear raping screech when it comes down? Am I remembering? Am I remembering that correctly?
I don't remember.
I'm misremembering that then. For some reason, I have the notion in my head that this.
You were doing that because you were going.
Yeah. No. I just, for some reason, I remembered this bat, and I just remembered it coming in like going.
No, I've tried to. If you're listening to the podcast and you don't watch any of the YouTube videos we do, other than like listening to this podcast on Spotify or whatever, when they start coming out, I recommend them. I try and edit them in like a funny way and make it like feel like a bit of an epic thing, because they're fucking hard. They're so hard, old games, and I'm so ready to get out of the old games era. I've just moved into the NES era. The first one comes out on the 2nd of July, 2022. I don't know, you could be listening to this at any time, so I don't fucking know. So then after that, I played Missile Command. That's another score-based game. It's not that interesting, but it was alright. And then, fucking, the hardest game I've played, probably. I've not played anything like Dark Souls. I specifically don't like playing hard games. Have you ever played Pitfall?
Pitfall, no. Wait,
It's on the Atari.
No, I don't. I think I know the game, but I don't think I played it.
There'd be too much crap to talk about to go through that game, but I think it's meant to be score based. But there's like 32 treasures you can collect, and that's kind of the only objective you can do. But you've only got 20 minutes to do it, and basically the only gameplay is jump or go left and right. So it was so fucking hard. Just watch the video when that comes out, because holy shit. We did Pac-Man on the Atari. Classic.
I've got a nostalgic fondness for like weird CD-ROM games. Like
Sega CD.
No, so...
Oh, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Like that one adventure game that our dad played with us that had like a dog mascot or something. And you could... It was that type of game that you would print off like a certificate to say you completed it. You know?
Shit like that, yeah. I miss that era of games. There's something about it where I think about it, and you know that feeling that you sort of get when you look at like Backrooms-esque sort of stuff? It's almost like a feeling like that. It's like, I was playing that, and I almost feel like I shouldn't have been playing that. Like it's some sort of weird thing that shouldn't have existed.
God, do you remember the name of that one that we played? Because we must have played it on his old, that old desktop PC in a really old house. That it was that one that was that certain cream color. Everyone will remember that. It was that like Backrooms feeling, like you know those computers that were like a box, and they were all like a cream color. And he had one of those, and we played it on that. Do you remember the name of it at all? Did you have to collect like golden cookies or some shit?
Was it a Wizard of Oz thing?
No. It was like you would kind of travel the world a bit, but like along with this like dog character, I think. I'm not fully certain it was a dog, but it was something. I think it was, because I'm sure you were collecting like treats for the dog, like to fill up his vault or something like that. It was something along those lines, weren't it?
I've typed in weird CD-ROM learning games
with dog. Dog travels world.
I tell you what, though, this is
game.
This is the kind of shit, though. This is the kind of stuff that, like,
was it Travel the World with Timmy? Is that it? There's Grover's Travels, but that's obviously like Mr. Men. Mr. Men? No, that's not right.
No.
What the fuck am I thinking of? Oh god, the Trash Man or whatever it is. What is it? Muppets? It's not Muppets. It's fucking Sesame Street. That's the one. Why was it so hard for me to remember? I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever find this CD-ROM game. There's a Reddit called r/tip of my tongue, And if I posted that in there, they would find it. I'm sure they would. They found that old PS2, like Japanese, it's kind of like a hack and slash. That
I know the one you're
forgot the name of it. It's
about,
called.
yeah.
It's not Genshin Impact. That's something else. It's called Genji Dawn of the Samurai. I think.
Genshin Impact.
Um,
I'm disappearing here. I can get back in my camera.
What? Okay,
I was
so
disappearing. There we go.
I've what have you been playing anything else then? What else have you been playing?
No, it's literally just been that.
Just Sea of Thieves. Because I notice you go through stages, and I think a lot of people do this with their friends. Is like League of Legends kind of a bit burnt out now? Do you think they're not as doing that anymore?
Well, one thing is that it's because I've been playing Sea of Thieves with Sam. Sam doesn't have a PC right now. His PC broke a while ago, so he's been playing on stuff on Xbox.
That's exciting to me. Does he want to buy one? I've got one.
Maybe actually,
it'll definitely it'll run anything he wants to play. But the problem with me was I wanted to stream anything, and it doesn't stream.
Yeah.
Run,
no, that's fine. I'll have to ask him.
If you let him know, it ran Apex Legends on 144 FPS with no problem.
How much are you thinking for it?
I've got it on Facebook Marketplace at the minute for about, I think, 550. But I'm not firm on that price.
Okay,
it would be extremely helpful as well, being as I've just bought a new house, so that'd be nice.
I'll ask him. I will ask him.
If you want specs, let me know.
Yeah. So yeah, we've just been playing that because he's not on PC, he's on Xbox, and obviously that game's crossplay, so we can play that together. Also, if
you're gonna do that and put your mic right in front of your face, as you should have been this whole time, turn it the fuck down. Holy shit.
My League of Legends account was suspended
again. What did you do this time? What slur did you use this time?
I don't know, actually. I think I might have just...
I don't know which slur I used.
I think I might have disparaged the differently abled again.
Oh god, I've given up on Apex Legends for the fourth time. I don't know. I've uninstalled it again because of stuff like that. Because fuck me, the communities are so toxic. I liked playing that game because I needed stuff to fully consume my brain to stop me constantly worrying about like adult responsibilities. You know how like adults will go on a holiday where they can't worry about it, and it's something I really enjoyed about boxing, and it worked really well with Apex as well because you have to focus on winning. But because I'm so focused on winning to try and make all my problems disappear, it's better than fucking alcohol, because that was another option. I'm sober this podcast, by the way, drinking water. You happy with that one?
I'm drinking water as well.
No, you're not. You don't drink water.
Look,
no, Judd,
I've almost finished it as well.
I was just about to say, no, Judd, that brown liquid that comes in a red can's called Coca-Cola. That's not water.
Oh.
No, but it's just like, I get in that competitive mindset. I
thought it was like Spanish or something for water.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, so I get in that competitive mindset, and then the problem with it is I'll be in like platinum ranks on Apex Legends, which at this point they're hard to get to at this point. And because I'm so competitive, as you probably should be in ranked at such kind of harder end to get, there'll be people who fuck up in the dumbest ways that I genuinely never fuck up in that way at this point. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And they obviously don't give a shit. They're just running in and dying and all sorts. I'm like, mate, what are you doing? You're just ruining the game for everyone else. Will you, like, at least try and stop being so fucking stupid when I've already warned you not to do all that? And they're like, fuck your mother's pussy, and all that. And I've complained before. And it's like, I just get so angry at them. And to be honest, I think rightfully so. They shouldn't be fucking playing ranked if they don't give a shit. Play the non-ranked version. There's a mode for that. So I just feel like I can't progress any further really because I don't have any people to play with. So I just don't want to have to deal with shitty people all the time. So I'm going to find another more chill game to play instead. Do you think it's fair enough?
Did you?
Yeah, I have. I tried to play We Happy Few again, and it's weird because the games like that, to me, it was quite interesting and intriguing, and I like open world games, and it was slightly different, but don't know, just couldn't be asked. There's certain games where it's like, I in theory should be enjoying this, but I just don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I should have been excited for it because it was made by like the same people that did Borderlands and BioShock, but I had one look at it, I thought, you know what, the idea of that seems interesting, and then I never played it.
I think the story of it's a bit mushy, and
yeah,
it's a little bit frustrating to navigate, as it would be in that kind of story scenario, but that doesn't necessarily make for a good game. I've tried playing Piku Niku as well, the main story of that. That's the one that we played together with the two little pills with legs looking as characters. Yeah. The co-op mode we played was kind of almost strictly co-op puzzles, but the story mode's like really quirky and quite fun. But again, can't be asked for some reason. I don't know. I was having fun with it, but I just can't be bothered. And I don't know what it is about it. Certain games you just get like that. I don't know, but what I have been playing, I asked you about, is Destiny 2. And you said it's kind of boring and not that great and not worth downloading 80 gigs worth of game for. But I figured my new computer's got about 4 terabytes of storage, so it ain't going to make much of a dent in it. Plus, it's free, and I've not got that much money now that I have to pay a mortgage. So
yeah,
and I've been playing through like the starting area and all that bit, and I was thinking, why the fuck is this game free? You know, it's like starting. It's got almost AAA feel to it, and I know that it was a AAA price to start with, but it's different though, isn't it? 'Cause it's like an FPS MMO. Am I right?
Yeah, it's just when you've done the same thing over and over for about 10 hours, and like the enemies don't change too much, and the gameplay style doesn't change too much, and the story really doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It's just
I'm going to give you a rebuttal to this that's going to fuck your whole argument up.
All right, go on then.
So what do you think about the game Doom? Just
Doom? No, but that's
like Doom.
No, but that's like way more like the pacing of that's way better.
I don't know, man. That's very similar. I was even
I also much prefer the story of Doom.
Yeah, the story of Destiny is a bit like science mumbo jumbo that I don't really particularly listen to, but I've enjoyed playing it more of a chill game where it's like pew enemy pew pew pew, and I get to I feel like I'm making use of my 2,000 plus hours in first person shooter games while I'm
Ignore
chilling.
me standing up if you're watching this, by the way. I've dropped a small bit of plastic that I'm looking for.
It's a precious one.
Yeah,
precious bit.
Yeah, my precious bit of plastic. Please continue.
No, but I think that's everything. Is there any games we're looking forward to coming out, or any games
I'd literally just typed in games coming out 2022 because I knew that that's where this was going.
I've got a list of games that are on my to play list. I don't think any of these are coming out. I think they've already all come out. But I'll just run through these for you. I've got Horizon Forbidden West. That's like a newer game that's really quite expensive at the minute, but Horizon Zero Dawn's my second favorite game of all time, so I'm really excited to play that. But I want to properly give it its due. I want to make sure I'm in a space where I'm ready to just sit down and play that game and give it some proper attention. And I'm not ready to do that yet. Shadow of the Colossus, the remake of that. In theory, I should love that game. So I've been in the mood to play something like that. So that should be fun. I'm just waiting for it to go on sale on the PlayStation Store. Fable 3, if I can find a key for that, I'd like to play it on PC, because I remember really liking. My favourite was Fable 2. But you can't get that anymore. Doom Eternal. I'm gonna try Tiny Tina's. You don't like it, but sometimes we have very different opinions.
You saying that made me feel sick. Like, just hearing it again made me feel sick.
Sometimes we have very different opinions, though, just every so often. So I just want to try it. I'm waiting for the price to come down a bit. I can get it for £25 at the minute. I'm waiting for it to come down to about 15, and then I'll give it a go.
I'm waiting until the people who made it came down with a fucking case of the plague, and they all die. That's what.
Speaking of plague, lung disease, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
I'm thinking I might play that again, but again, that's one of the ones where I look at it every so often and think, this ain't a bad price. I'll play a different game.
Yeah,
It's like that. Far Cry 6, that's come down a bit. Sometimes it's on offer, but it's not quite cheap enough for me yet. Have you heard of Thimbleweed Park?
Thimbleweed? No.
It's a point and click adventure, but it's like kind of pixel art based. It's a modern one, but kind of homage to old school ones.
Cool. Undertale.
No, it's not like that. It's more like kind of comedy focused, I guess. It's kind of a detective comedy, pixel point and click.
Quite good. Detective Pikachu.
A Short Hike. That's one of those games that's revered as like amazing. It's like it's up there with like Undertale, and Celeste is another one where people like absolutely love it.
Yeah, people freak out about Celeste. I have no idea what it is.
It's good. I played it on PS5 and completed it. It's not as good as people make out. It's just a solid, fun platformer with quite a nice emotional story in the same sort of feel-ish as Undertale. But it's no Undertale. It's just it might be my favorite platformer I've played. Favorite 2D platformer. But
listen, honey, you can be in the game business for as long as you want, but you'll never be no Undertale.
Biomutant, Rec Room, Ratchet and Clank, Rifts Apart, because I loved the first rebooted version. I absolutely loved that game. Yeah, those are the games I want to play.
What do you think about the new Saints Row that's coming out this year?
Oh, I'm not thinking about Saints Row ever again if I can help it.
Never think.
It's
nice.
I downloaded Saints Row 4. Or is it called Saints Row the 4th? Or what? I don't know. The one where you're fucking president for some reason.
Yeah, it's Saints Row 4, yeah.
I downloaded that because Saints Row 3, Saints Row 2 was like a rival to GTA with some slightly sillier elements than GTA. Well, the GTA's at the time, because now GTA's got silly as well. And I liked it for that. I liked that it felt just a little bit more cartoonish, but still obviously that sort of game. And then Saints Row 3 dialed that notch up another level, and I was like, oh, they're moving, they're doing it in this direction. They know what they are. Yeah. They're differentiating themselves a bit more.
I respected like Free for doing that. I respected it. I was like, you know what, you're going right. Okay, GTA's this, we're this. Let's do it. Let's just do it. And I was like, you know what, I like Free. I like this. I'm into it.
I liked it and I respected them for it. Having said that, I didn't quite enjoy it as much, just by a little bit. And then
I think I played the third one at exactly the right age. I think that it was that kind of humor.
But Saints Row 4, just fuck you. It was just only that and way over the top. Saints Row 4 is a Fortnite kid. It's that. It's like if Fortnite Kid was a game, it'd be Saints Row 4. And all the sequels as well, like Gat Out of Hell and all of that, Johnny Gat and all that bullshit.
I don't know if you remember, but that fucking game gave you like the best thing to use on enemies, like right at the start, because you could just run up to people and do this weird execution move on them, but it worked every single time on every single enemy. So you never had to use guns. It was just
completely boring. I tried to play it again recently because it was on sale on a website that I get game keys for like £1.20 or something stupid like that. So I got it. Judd's still looking for that bit of plastic.
It's fucking, it's grey plastic on a grey carpet.
just leave it. Just find it later. I got that. I got Saints Row 4, and I was like, I know this game's bad, but I'm just gonna like play it and try and enjoy how bad it is. And now you could do that if it was just the story and the characters and all that bullshit, but it's just like, the game's not fun at all. Yeah. You get superpowers and shit out of nowhere. Like, the jump from Saints Row 2 to Saints Row 3 with the silliness was not huge, but it was, like, big enough. Like, you noticed it like, only just. But the jump from 3 to 4 with the silliness was huge. It was just... what a terrible game.
You literally spend the first mission climbing a nuke and disabling it, and then the second mission you get attacked by aliens and the world blows up.
It sucks.
And it's like,
and then you get shoved into an alien simulation where you're in like 1950s days, and all sorts of shit happens, and then you are in a different simulation, but it's just normal world. I don't know. I stopped playing. I was like, I just don't care.
It literally was just a simulation of like the map from the third game. It's like, this is so lazy.
It sucked. It just really sucked. But yeah, so there's a new one coming out then. How does that look?
Yes.
What's it called?
Saints Row.
Oh, okay. So I see the new art for it. It looks more clean.
It does.
Yeah, Saints Row, like from Saints Row 4 onwards, feels like it feels a bit like, you know, when Fast and Furious started getting ridiculous as well? When they're Saints Row 4 is that plane runway scene from, like, Fast and Furious 7 or whatever it was.
For an entire game, yeah.
Yeah. But, okay, so the new one. Maybe I'll look at a trailer of it. I'll probably
It don't look too bad. It don't look too bad, to be honest with you.
The thing is, there's too many franchises that, like, I've played... Like, you know, that I'm invested in. Like, The Boys and Borderlands and Far Cry and Marvel and DC, and there's just too many things that I have to try and keep up with. So I'm cutting some of them off. I'm not doing it anymore. You know, another thing that I've cut off like that, Love, Death and Robots. I'm not keeping up with it anymore. I watched a few episodes of the latest season. It was, some were good, some were not good, and it's too hit or miss, and I can't watch everything. So it's gone.
The best episode of the new season was the one with Troy Baker, the one with the big crab.
I don't think I saw that one.
You should watch that one. That one actually really is very good. In fact, that one might be my favorite out of all of the ones that they've done.
Well, I don't know. So you've Googled what games are coming out. We will move on from this soon, by the way. What is anything exciting? Hit me with some.
There is. Here's one for you, which you might not have clocked, might not have been on your gaming radar. The Callisto Protocol. The Gaydar. The Callisto Protocol.
No, that's making me think of, do you know that one that we saw the trailer of? Do you remember when we did like an E3 reaction a while ago, and there was that game Deathloop, and we were like, this looks pretty good, I might play that one. That I feel like it's going to be one of those, where it's like, when it came out, I was like, I got too many other things to play, I've just not even tried.
I tell you, it is Dead Space. I'm sending a picture through now to you on Discord. It's even got the health bar on the back of the helmet thing. It looks good, but it is Dead Space.
Shit, it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not going to show that on screen. There's no point. I'll just play Dead Space again.
Also, speaking of playing Dead Space again, Dead Space is coming out with a remaster this year, so
maybe that's what I'll play.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Then the next thing is a Warhammer game, which I'm looking forward to. Warhammer 40k Darktide. This is the one where when me and you watched like a gaming show. Yeah. Which is specifically games about Warhammer. This is the one which was Left 4 Dead. You know the one where it was...
That looked alright.
Yeah,
is there anything else though, man? I'm jonesing for like a Prince of Persia maybe. I'd like that. Or to be honest, at this point, I'm ready for Assassin's Creed again. I played Valhalla. Next Assassin's Creed game.
I think the big one for shit like that really was Elden Ring, but I'm not going to play Elden Ring. No, I don't like playing games like I don't like playing games like that either.
I don't like hard games. Assassin's Creed Rift.
Here's one I'm looking forward to. I don't know about you. Scorn. This is like a really weird looking game.
I've never heard of it.
You never heard of Scorn? It looks fucking weird.
Oh god, Assassin's Creed Infinity. Assassin's Creed Infinity, what is it? A new live service Assassin's Creed game. Oh, they're jumping on that bandwagon. Everyone, I swear to God, everyone's wanting to make a free-to-play game that, like, a bunch of loot boxes and a battle pass and all of this shit. It's like battle royales, the whole, everyone has to make a battle royale now. Or when there was a bit where, like, Lord of the Rings and Elder Scrolls and everyone, it's like, we all need an MMO now. It's like, just chill out. Fucking hell. It's one of those things where realize what your franchise and, like, game companies should be making. If what you excel at is not what's in the current times, well, just, bummer. You're going to have to ride that one out for a little bit then. There'll be something else that'll come in the next wave of trends that you will be good at doing. It's like, my prime example I give of this is Netflix added these little, like, TikTok-style things where you can scroll through clips of their shows. Like, Netflix, you're not TikTok. I understand that you want to get in on that TikTok-style money, but you're just not it. Just let this one pass you, You don't have to do that. But
yeah,
whatever. Anyway,
I get it.
Is there anything else? Anything else exciting, Judd? Before we move on,
not that I can think of. No.
Right. In that case, if I play a little bit of this audio for you, can you hear this?
Well, heating then, everyone had cold fire.
No,
you can't hear that. Okay.
Your screen's not showing anymore.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fucking weird. Right, it's sharing now.
Strange. Peculiar.
It should be sharing now, is it?
Yes, go on, do it.
Fire as 90% of the men.
Can you hear it? Okay, yes. Judd can hear it. Okay,
I can hear it.
What we've got
I got a big goofy smile on my face because I know what it is.
It might not be quite what you think. It's similar. I wanted to get my grandma as a special guest on this podcast because she lives there. I'm pointing at her house. I can see it.
Yeah.
She lives over there. But she daren't, basically. She sees it a bit as public speaking, and she don't really like public speaking. So, like, don't worry about it. That's fine. No problem. But she did record a little clip for me of what it was like growing up where she grew up, which is the area I currently live in.
Yeah.
And that's for us to listen to. There is one small problem. We're gonna listen to this in a second. Talk about it. It says the name of the place multiple times in here, so I've had to edit this and replace it with a place name that our audience should relate to quite well.
So it's in Seattle.
Well, you'll see.
Okay, great.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna just listen through this and then we can talk about whatever is in it. Here we go.
Seattle.
It's a village in
Washington.
I suppose it was, in a way, almost self-contained. If really necessary, you could live your whole life there, as it had all the amenities. There was a co-op grocery shop, and a boy would deliver your order if you couldn't go yourself, and he took it on a pushback with a huge carrier on the front. It was extremely heavy to pedal. Also, there was a doctor, post office, chip shop, barber, pub, clothes shop, anything you needed, really. Us kids played out summer and winter in all weathers. We enjoyed simple games like hide and seek, British bulldog charge, hopscotch, and many more. The winters were bitingly cold. Icicles hung off drain pipes, guttering and fencing, etc. We would be chasing around so much, though, that even in such bitterly freezing conditions we'd be too hot, so I ate icicles to cool down. Our parents would be calling us in as it was so cold, but we didn't feel it. On really cold nights, we would wake up to beautiful ice patterns like ferns on the whole window panes. No central heating then. Everyone had cold fire, as 90% of the men worked in the coal mines and they had coal allowances to supplement their wages. We didn't have central heating radiators from the fire, but the fireplace had a back boiler which heated the water. Traffic in
Seattle
was very light, a bus every 30 minutes, but apart from that, only the occasional old motorbike and 1 or 2 pedal bikes, plus a very, very occasional car. The local policeman did his beat on a bicycle. And you better behave, as he could cuff you round the ear if you were naughty. No good telling your parents, they would give you a telling off too. Summers were hot and dusty, with the occasional spectacular thunderstorm. Huge jagged lightning and deafening thunderclaps. Such storms sent the mothers running to open all the outside doors. This was in case a fireball came down the chimney so it could roll outside instead of burning the house down. I don't know where they got that from. Sometimes mothers would come out and join us girls in a game of skipping, and we loved it when they did. Chores for us consisted mostly of washing dishes, running to the shop and looking after the younger kids. If the boys could manage to get hold of a set of old pram wheels, they would set about making a trolley, which was a contraption that had 2 front wheels that could be turned with a washing line rope, 2 fixed wheels at the back and a flat base to sit on, with your legs on the front crosspiece to guide this transport with. We girls were a bit jealous of this activity, as the boys were not too keen on letting us share. Growing up in
Seattle, Washington.
Girls are
was
gross.
fun. It was cold in the winters, it was hot in the summers, and it was lovely.
So there you go. That's what she says
I had a big idiot grin on my face during that.
Yeah, I did. I love that. I love hearing about what I refer to her as olden days, which I don't know if that's the right way to refer to it as, because they were just regular days for her.
Yeah.
Anything that stands out to you about that? Like what was like
what's this about? What's this about a fireball that descends down the chimney? And
she was saying that some of the like the mothers, like you know, like old wives' tales. That's what they're called in that. Like one of the old wives' tales was if there was a thunderstorm, you might like if your house got struck by lightning, you might get a fireball come down your chimney, and they wouldn't want it to like go into the room if they opened. So they thought if they opened the window, the fireball will come down the chimney and get sucked out of the window because of the draft. I don't know. It was
insane.
Even my grandma in that said, I don't know where they got that from. So yeah. But there was
fucking
all sorts
insanity.
of stuff like that back then, weren't they? Like I suppose this would have been when my grandma was a kid. 19 something. What's about?
It would have been 1302.
What's 75 years ago?
Well, I don't know what is 75 years ago.
1947. So
right,
somewhere around there, somewhere around like late 40s, early 50s, something like that. Yeah. What else? Like, I've noticed that old people or older people, even our parents, always say how much more warm and more cold it was. Or was it more warm? I don't know. They definitely love to say how much more cold it was and how much snow they used to get. It's like every time you talk to someone older than you, it's like, back in my day, we had snow up to our necks and we still had to walk to school. That's what they always say, innit?
That is what they always say, yeah.
Is that what... Have you ever had your granddad tell you about how blooming cold it was back in his day?
Yeah. Of course he has.
That's how he sounds.
Yeah, that is how my granddad. My granddad actually really sounds like that, Jake. not joking.
Yeah. What else? What else was in this? I've got the What? Oh, I've
got the play.
Discord just gave me a quiz on how did the stream go, because I just streamed stuff to Judd. I thought it was saying how did the Twitch stream go on Discord. I was like, what the fuck? How do you know I'm streaming? Yeah, they had a little like a pickup boy who would pick up your groceries for you. What do you think of that? It's like a little town slave.
Well, that's not too far off what we've got now, is it? We can get like Asda shopping delivered.
Yeah, it's weird that we've kind of almost come full circle with that, because you would not have got that at like our parents' era, like just some kid who would run to the shop for you. I suppose they were a lot smaller of a place because everywhere's expanded, haven't they? So there might have only been 20 houses in this area. and you would have known everyone. So like the kid that was at the age of biking, I suppose, would have been like, "Do you want give us a quid and I'll fetch you shopping." You know, that's what it sounded like as well. She sent me a picture of what one looks like, and apparently they were like really hard to pedal.
Right.
So that reminds me of like when our dad made us pedal just regular bikes when we were kids, and we're like, I don't want to. And that's how we sounded.
My nana used to work in like a gun factory, like a gunsmith's.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this?
My great grandma worked in a bomb factory.
I did know that. So my nan, when she was working at this like gunsmiths, she was on this sort of like production line, and she had to like sort of disassemble them and have a look at them, and then she had to like test fire them to see if they worked. And she remembered one time she was like dismantling this gun, and she was putting the like registration mark of the weapon down in the books. And she was like, "Hold on a second, I've already processed this gun. I've already put this gun through." And she checked it like a couple times, and she was like, "Yeah, this isn't right. This." So they fucking she like called it in, and she's like, "This isn't right. This gun's already been processed." And the police came in. They were like, "We're gonna thank you and give you like the where she worked like gave her a raise and everything, because they were like, if this gun was used in a crime, then you know somebody else could have been put on somebody else, because it's fucking, we've got two guns with the same registration number."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah,
that
there you
story ended way less climactic than I thought it would. I thought you were going to be like, someone had taken that out and like tried to use it and then put it back in the wrong place, and then that's how she noticed that it had been taken out, and they managed to solve a crime with it.
But nobody had been like blasted in the streets. They hadn't had their brains blown out by or anything. There was a fault for some reason, and she clocked it. So.
Oh.
That's...
Well, I clocked a fault earlier at work today and I fixed it. Should we tell the whole story about that? Holy shit.
Well, no, because nobody's interested in you, but people are interested in my nana, so...
That is true. British Bulldog. Did you ever play that at school?
I did. I used to get the shit beaten out of me.
What's that then? Describe it to us.
Bulldog is basically... Am I thinking the right thing? So Bulldog is just basically, is that not where like you sort of run and people just beat the shit out of you and like try to get you down to the ground? Is that not what Bulldog was?
That's bullying. That's called being
bullied.
That was
bullying. Oh,
that's not Bulldog. That's just you were getting bullied by kids. They would just beat you up. No, you'd have a line. So kids would line up at one side of the yard. And then there'd be some.
And they'd pelt you with rocks.
No, that one's called a firing squad. No, it's no. So the kids would line up at one side of the yard, and then you'd have one nominated kid in the middle, and then all the other kids who were lined up would run to the other side of the yard, and the one in the middle would have to like tackle one of them, and then. The next time, and then so they'd run from the opposite side back to where they started, but this time there'd be the kid who started and the person he tackled. So they'd have to tackle people, and then just maybe you see where this is going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Hopefully people listening know what I mean by that. But it essentially involved a lot of kids like tackling each other onto concrete.
Yeah.
And it got banned in a lot of schools. But obviously, like this was back in like the 50s where people like didn't care about that shit. So there was a lot of that. Is there any other like games like that got banned at school for you? Do you remember anything?
I don't know. But speaking of like children's heads being like caved in at school. Have I ever told the story about my head being split open at primary school on the podcast? Have I ever told that one?
I'm not sure.
So, it's in primary school. This is like year 1 or 2. I'm running around in the primary school play area, just being a little goddamn goober, a little goofball, if you will. And this girl decides she's also going to be a little goofball, and she sticks her foot out to trip me as I'm running around. and I go flying through the air. And for some reason, there was like this metal lip on the outside of the primary school. And anyway, I went head first, like forehead first, onto the floor, and it slammed down on this like metal lip, and it sliced like a straight line, a perfect vertical straight line across my forehead, and I looked like a Slovene with like a sipper on my forehead. And anyway, it was just gushing blood like crazy, and my mum, they called my mum, and they didn't do anything about like this massive like gaping like wound I had in my forehead. They did nothing about it. So when my mum got there like 20 minutes later, I was like slumped in a chair, almost grey, lights in my fucking forehead, and I was like covered in blood, like carry levels of like covered in blood because my forehead had been sliced open. So my mum comes in. She sees me like slumped, you know, like when E.T.'s dying and it's all grey and like gross. I'm like looking like that in a chair, like, and my mum's like, so she like scoops me up out of this chair, and I remember her rushing me to this hospital. Anyway, I had my fucking forehead like glued shut, like
Right.
because they had no staples. But anyway, as you can tell, nothing happened to my head. My brain is a-okay, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, a-okay.
yeah.
Fucking
so
hell.
anyway,
just look direct into the camera and stay still for a second. Just stay there. No, stop moving. Seriously. I'm trying to do something. Yeah, genuinely. I'm genuinely doing something good.
All right, what are you doing?
It's something that'll make no sense for podcast listeners. I'm trying to colour key your face.
All right.
Anyway.
I thought you were gonna say like stay still so I can look at your irises to see if you've got like a concussion.
No, that's not what I meant, unfortunately. Yeah. But something else that kind of I really notice from like this thing with my grandma is the kind of detail that she notices. Do you know what I mean? Like there's so much stuff. Like she said we would wake up to beautiful ice patterns like ferns on the window. Well, you wouldn't notice that shit, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't understand how they do that, but
I'd wake up and the first thing I'd think is, gosh, gee willikers, I wonder what porn I'm gonna wank to this one.
Oh good God. Fuck. I've completely fucked up Judd's camera, by the way, so he's just all whiteness. I don't know why I was messing with it, but I'll try and sort this out while we talk about shit. So yeah, there was no cars or anything. Policeman was on a bike. He could the policeman could actually hit kids. Just
back
in those days. Yeah,
what an era to be alive. That's sick. I wish we still had that.
I wish we still. Oh God.
I wish we still had that.
Can we legally say that? Legally, Judd's joking.
I'm not. Listen, it's not like, I just think there should be kids, not. Never mind.
What? Not adults? I think they should beat up kids, not adults.
Well, no, I meant, it's okay.
What the fuck do you mean? Okay, I'm moving on.
I'm not saying that police brutality, I'm not saying.
Get me out of this podcast. What else did she do? They washed dishes. Everyone does that.
We don't do that now.
God. Anyway, speaking of washing dishes, I'm gonna have to do a lot of that this weekend because we're having a barbecue, Judd, aren't we? We're having midsummer.
Oh wait, is that this fucking weekend?
Yeah.
What
do you mean is that this weekend?
Saturday? Is it Saturday?
Yeah. You better be coming because I've put in a lot of effort to this.
Fine.
So, you know when to get here? 3:30.
Would fucking leave me alone.
I've got some mead in. Are you staying over, Judd? Stay over. Come on.
Yeah, I'll stay over.
Judd's staying over. We're gonna get drunk. We're gonna have barbecue. It's gonna be good. So I'm sure there'll be some raucous activities and all sorts of shit go down. To talk about on next podcast. I've been burning so much garden waste to accommodate for this fucking thing, but
I mean, burning so many gardens. Like,
oh god. Anyway, right, that's it for a podcast. I've got to go and sort Judd's camera out because I've messed it up completely. I don't know what the fuck I did, but currently he's like got a blue tint all over him. I don't fucking know. I hope it's been a good one. I liked the special grandma appearance. That was fun.
Yeah.
So, right, salmon. I don't know.